Hello, my name is Shaquem with the Rockdale News and the Covington News. I'm the sports editor.
Hi, I'm Sebastian William, design editor of the Covington News and the Rockdale News.
You know the phrase, everybody loves a good villain. Well, here at the News, we love villains so much that we made a list of 7 of the greatest movie villains in cinema. Sebastian, start us off with number 7.
All right, number 7, now, of course, spoilers ahead if none of you have seen any of these movies, so just be prepared. Number 7 for us was Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, played by Louise Fletcher.
You know, Billy, what worries me is how your mother's going to take this.
That was one of the most chilling performances, definitely out of the 70s. Nurse Ratchet is pretty much the epitome of the establishment, the personification of establishment. And it's just that cool, really calm, yet this hidden evil that you could see in her eyes. And it was terrifying. I remember watching it, and it was, you wanted to strangle her, but at the same time, you know, you feel absolutely helpless, which was perfect, which is exactly how all the characters felt towards her. And so definitely number 7, we'll have to go with Nurse Ratchet.
Okay. Well, for number 6, we chose the legendary Kaiser Soze. If you don't know that name, then you haven't seen The Usual Suspects.
Tell me you got the cripple in there from New York.
Yeah.
He mentioned Kaiser Soze.
Who?
After that, my guess is you'll never hear from him again.
Kaiser Soze it's more so the legend of the villain that is Kaiser Soze that just puts fear. You know, the long hair, he killed his family, and he then turned around and just destroyed all of his enemies. He's the overlord of the entire film. And then when they finally reveal who Kaiser Soze is, it just makes the film. And that's why he's number 6. He's a great villain, played by Kevin Spacey.
Spoilers. So for number 5 is another extremely terrifying villain, which is way more where Kaiser Soze and Nurse Ratchet were more refrained, or a little bit more controlling of their outward evilness. Frank Booth of Blue Velvet.
You're like me. Oh, look at those. Oh, what are these?
Please, Fred, let's go, please.
Don't say please, kid! Oh, baby wants to finish them.
He terrorizes all the characters in the film, and I mean, numerous lists for greatest villains of all time has put him in the top spot, and he definitely terrified me watching it. I mean, this guy, what makes him so scary is that he's this gas-sniffing, violent human being with mommy issues. And
most villains.
And yet, you don't know when he's going to snap. One minute he's laughing with you, next minute he might just shoot you in the face. And you just never know with him, and completely unpredictable. And that's why he's number 5 for us.
And number 4, one of my favorites, not my favorite, that we'll get to that a little bit later, but number 4 is Anton Chigurh, aka Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men. I love that character because he is the personification of evil. There's a scene in the movie, and spoilers of course again, if you haven't seen it, and where he's talking to this old man at a gas station, and he wants to kill the old man simply because the old man is just getting on his nerves. And he tells the old man to flip a coin, like Two-Face in The Dark Knight, but he tells him to flip a coin, and I guess, whatever the results were had to be in his favor, and then the old man kept the coin and say, "Keep the coin, sure lucky coin." And he kept the coin, but he just, other than that, like, he's just a really, really evil person. He, very quiet, will just kill you. He has the coolest gun ever in cinema history.
Assassination weapon, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's just why he's number 4. So tell us who we've got at number 3.
Number 3. Now everybody should know this one. Number 3, we're gonna go with Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, specifically Silence of the Lambs. I think he was kind of watered down as the series went on, but initially in Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, who only had 20 minutes of screen time, played by Anthony Hopkins, still managed to snag him the Best Actor Oscar, because he was that terrifying.
Do you know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition's given you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you, Agent Starling? And that accent you've tried so desperately to shed, pure West Virginia. What does your father do? Is he a coal miner? Does he stink of the land? You know how quickly the boys found you, all those tedious, sticky fumblings in the backseats of cars, while you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the apple pie.
Hannibal Lecter is a little bit different from the rest, because the rest that we've mentioned have all been personifications of an idea or of evil. Hannibal is a little bit different. Hannibal knows he's human, but he's a little bit he's superior than humans. To them, that's why he eats them. He consumes them because they are meat to him. They are just sheep, cattle to these to him. And
you sound like Hannibal.
I sound like Hannibal?
You sound like Hannibal.
Well, there's a little bit of Hannibal in all of us. But you know, in that coldness, and not just the way he kills you and then he eats you, he gets in your mind and then tears you apart, and then consumes you while you're like a predator would, without inflicting physical pain. He's attacking them from the inside and out, and that's absolutely what made him terrifying in Silence of the Lambs.
I think number 2. I'll let you introduce number 2 as well. I think that's one of your favorites.
Oh, number 2. Number 2, we're gonna go with Amon Gath, played by Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List.
Make me a hinge.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's very good. But I'm a bit confused, and perhaps you can help me. What I don't understand is that you've been working since, I think, what, about 6 this morning? Yet, such a small pile of hinges.
It's already tough. It's already tough to watch how realistic the Holocaust was being portrayed on screen. But then you have this villain, this Nazi coming in who's even colder than the Holocaust itself. I don't even know if you can, if that can be something that can be described. Looking at his face, you see the cold, dead stare. And I think what makes him that much more terrifying is that he really believed that the Jews were vermin. They were lower than him. And in that sense, like Hannibal, except he just hated them. They were rats to him. And there's numerous scenes that was just, it's not so much terrorizing, but as much as just horrifying. And what his evil deeds really get to the heart of the matter. And that puts him definitely up there, way more than Voldemort. Sorry.
Just caveat, we debated if Voldemort should be on this list, and unfortunately, spoilers, he didn't make it. He's not number 1. Number 1 is the Joker, the Dark Knight. Like, you had to see that coming.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. First, have all these rules, and you think they'll save you.
He's in control. I have one rule.
Oh, then that's the rule you'll have to break to know the truth.
Which is?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. And tonight, you're gonna break your one rule.
I'm considering it.
No, there's only minutes left, so you're gonna have to play my little game if you want to save one of them.
He's my favorite villain of all time, probably because I'm a huge Batman fan / comic book movie fan, but more so because he was just a great villain portrayed by Heath Ledger.
The late Heath Ledger.
The late Heath Ledger. He's just so great, and everything that he meant for that movie: anarchy, chaos, great scenes. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, he definitely tapped into the zeitgeist kind of consciousness, and at a time in the post 9/11 kind of time, when I'm specifically talking about Heath Ledger's The Joker, where is the idea that we all want to feel like we're righteous and we're good people, but if you take us down to that bare level where you take away everything that we love and we care about, that humans will tear each other apart. You know, we will. At our lowest points, we are willing to step on the other person. And the Joker really pulled that out of all of us. And I think that's why he's easily the greatest villain to come across the screen in the last 20, 30, 40 years. And the fact that how he plays the opposite of Batman. Batman is order. He has that one rule that he doesn't kill. The Joker is all anarchy, all chaos, and he breaks every single rule possible. Anytime society has a kind of rule, the Joker is there to break it. I think that's why I think we all kind of love the Joker a little bit, and because he gets to do the things that sometimes, deep down, and we never want to admit it, we may go, oh, he's so right.
That's true. That's true. And like you said, it harks back to the fact that people love Batman too, and like he's the opposite of Batman. He's the perfect opposite.
Yep.
You know, they mirror each other. So.
Exactly.
But that's our list. But we also would like to give you one more thing, the honorable mention. Scar of Lion King. We wanted. I lobbied for Scar to get that 7th spot, but Scar didn't make it. He's a bad person, and to watch the Lion King is a kids film, and you got Scar killing his brother
and trying to kill his nephew,
and it's a kids film, but he's a great villain.
So that's our list of our 7 greatest villains of all time. What are your greatest villains? Let us know in that comment box along the side over here. And next week, the next time, we'll be back with more, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Thanks.